Good morning, and we continue our election coverage. Earlier, we talked to Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers. Now we get a chance to talk to her challenger, Joe Pakootas. A reminder, all of our interviews are archived on KXLY920.com, and if you have an Android phone, you can download our KXLY 920 election app.
All right, and Joe, thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. It's great to be with you.
So you are up against a very well-known Congresswoman. How do you set yourself apart from Cathy McMorris Rodgers?
But looking at, I guess the abilities and leadership qualities that we do have are completely different from each other. I have been in business for over 30 years. I have, political experience on being on our tribal council and leading our tribal council for 16 years. And Cathy, she does not quite have the business experience or the experience in the economy and how the economy is working in the region.
Joe, as you traveled around the area talking to folks who will be voting to determine the future as to who represents this area in Congress, what have you heard from voters that kind of inspires you to want to get to Washington to get things done?
Well, one of the things is our economy is completely continuing to lag, especially in eastern Washington. And our job market is not very well right now. And that would be two areas that I hear a lot of concern about, is jobs and our economy. And then from there we look at, education is a big thing too for quite a few of our people, because we do have universities on this side of the mountains, and Eastern Washington University, WSU, and a number of community colleges also. Education is a big issue also.
Joe, what are some ideas you have that could spur our economy and create more jobs in this area?
Well, one of the things that was looked at earlier too, and that is investing in our crumbling infrastructure. That's been talked about a number of times and has been delayed or sometimes completely stopped. Our roads, our buildings, our bridges are completely crumbling around us. That would be an area where we could really start increasing the job market and building on our economies locally, especially. The more jobs we have, the stronger our economies become around here.
Talking with Joe Pakootas, who is running for the 5th congressional district seat against the incumbent Cathy McMorris Rodgers. Joe, do you view this as a Republican-Democrat race along those lines, or does this become more of a Cathy McMorris Rodgers, Joe Pakootas race in terms of your individual ideals changing things?
That would be ideal if it would be that way. More myself versus Cathy McMorris Rodgers rather than the Democratic-Republican part of things. I hear quite a bit of that out on the trail, that the Democrats, don't have much of a chance in this area. This has been pretty red for quite a few years. And I might rather make it based on the issues in the 5th Congressional District rather than based on party politics, which seems to be pretty prevalent in this area.
Joe Pakootas, thank you so much. He's the challenger to Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers, running for the 5th Congressional District. Joe, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Pleasure to be with you.